What was the one thing that made you snap? A call from my wife came halfway through my lunch break. Her voice cutting through the factory floor's buzz. I could barely even hear her over the clanging and shouting. I cupped my hand over my ear and hear her say, "We won the lottery and they're finally winners." My heart dropped. The words barely made sense. Her laugh echoed in his mind, sharp and mocking, the way it always did, and I could picture her smirk. She then tells me to tell my boss I quit. She hangs up and I look around the factory, the stench of burning machinery, the faces I was never happy to see. I remembered my boss and the endless lists of work he shoved my way. I puffed out my chest and marched into his office, telling him everything I've been holding back for years, every filthy insult and thought that I had piled up. I told him his half-bald head made him look like a used condom and walked out. The look on my boss's face alone made my entire day. I had my head high and felt something wild and electric coursing through me. I spent the afternoon doing things I'd only dream of. Fancy food, expensive clothes. Everywhere I went, people looked at me like I actually mattered and that I wasn't small or invisible. Finally, I went home and opened the door. There she was, my wife, standing in the kitchen with the same smirk she always had. Her arms were folded like she was about to launch into another lecture. I felt that familiar rage bubbling up, setting my on edge. I immediately tell her to show me the ticket. She smiles and tosses it onto the table casually like it didn't even matter. I pick it up and feel my heart drop. It wasn't even a big prize, just $50. She sees the look in my face and laughs hysterically. The same mocking laugh dug into my ears like nails. She taunts me and asks me if I really thought we were going to be millionaires. I try to explain to her what I did, but I stutter. She looks at me in disdain, the same look I've dealt with for the past 24 years. All the bullying and her mind games. Everything went red. Before I knew it, I was reaching for the knife on the counter. I barely felt my hand wrap around it. She must have only seen it as the tip made contact with her eyeball. As I watched her collapse to the floor, her screams fading into a wet gurgle, that's when I realized, looks like I won big after all.